The Omnic Weekly. Welcome everyone. It is Sunday, October 8th. I had to cheat. I had to look at my shit and go, wait, what day are we again? And this is episode 155 of the Omnic Weekly. I am D, and this week again, I'm joined by Frozen. How you doing, Frozen?
I'm actually pretty good today. How are you?
I'm doing good. You are kind of in the mood. Look at all these candles around you.
Yeah, a bit of a Halloweeny mood.
Yeah. Someone is getting ready for Halloween. And
I love favorite holiday.
It is a nice holiday, but I'm one of those people that just keep it for, the last minute. But, I mean, I can appreciate. I'm always in for something dark, grimy, scary, whatever. What is this? My beard is falling apart. But anyways, happy to have you back. Hannah is still slightly under the weather. Well, the thing is, she just had her vaccinations for both the flu and COVID yesterday, so now she's a little under the weather because of that. Look at this beautiful mess. Let me turn this around so you guys can see the stickers. Yeah, for the people that are listening to the podcast, too bad you can't see it. Join us on YouTube.
Come to YouTube.
Yeah, and we can't find LP. I don't know where he is. We tried to get him in here, but up to now we have not gotten any response. I presume like 5 minutes after we're done, he's going to be, yeah, what's up? No, too late, man. Too late, dude. But anyways, glad to have you back, Frozen. Glad to have you joining us this week. People were kind of happy to see you, or kind of surprised to hear and see you last week, because we kept it a secret for the longest time till someone spoiled it.
We're not looking at anyone.
Scorpio. We have a Patreon, and people that are on Patreon get to hear the episode first. Actually a whole day in advance, and he was already spoiling the content of the podcast on Discord. Little bugger. But anyways, still a lot of people were surprised. People were happy to hear you, and nothing but compliments. So that is beautiful.
Adorable. You guys were all adorable. I love you all. It was so sweet.
She's already starting a fan club. She's
I don't think so, but it was so sweet. It was so adorable.
Yeah, I'm still coughing once in a while. My apologies. I'm going to try and mute it as much as possible. But you know how it goes. If you've been sick, like the few weeks after that, your body's still like, let me occasionally just make you feel really queasy and have you cough. Here we go.
Adjusting,
exactly. All right, but there's a lot to discuss this week. It was an interesting week, to say the least. There's quite a few topics, but maybe first is look, they showed off a lot of stuff, Frozen, for season 7, which is going to start in just a few days.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like everything that we got to see, they have this new style of communication, and hear me out. I think one, they're talking a lot more, they're kind of building up, they're teasing more, which they used to do back in the day and throughout this whole stretch of Overwatch 2, because Overwatch 2 has been out for a year, so let's call it the first year of Overwatch 2. That was a little less. They didn't talk as much. It was a little more, well, I mean, they started ramping up the communication, but I'm more talking about the whole marketing thing, kind of teasing content and whatnot.
Yeah.
And but now they kind of teased everything up till BlizzCon. I feel like they purposely kind of shared everything that we're going to see up till BlizzCon, or just beyond BlizzCon, if anything starts and ends after BlizzCon. And I think the rest of the season is just going to be shown off at BlizzCon. That's what I'm thinking.
That would be the smart thing to do, honestly, to shows everything. I like that they're more open in what we get now, especially with like season 7 and what we all saw, which we will talk about a bit later.
Yeah.
But I mean, they have to have something for BlizzCon, otherwise it would be boring.
Well, no, I just hope they have more than the rest of season 7 at BlizzCon. I mean, people are waiting for that next hero.
Oh yeah.
At this point, I'm really, if it's not going to be Maga, there's going to be a riot. I said this last week, but
I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
it keeps getting worse. Like the comments that I'm getting on videos, what people are asking me on Twitch and whatnot, it's all like, you can feel this whole, it better be Maga. It better be Maga. I said it on stream. The only two heroes that they can get away with at BlizzCon to introduce instead of Maga or Jetpack Cat, because that has been something that a lot of people have been asking for. I'm not going to say for ages, but it is actually for ages. Ever since that concept was shown off, everybody's like, all right, we need that. Make it happen now. And they said, no. It would be typical for Blizzard then to eventually do it. And it would be genius to do it now. And the other one is Mama Hung. Mama Hung, if you're not familiar with Mama Hung, like in the original concept art for Overwatch 2, where they showed off all the heroes. It's not really the concept art. It's basically the hero sheet that they use to pitch the game to corporate to get the money to make the game. That's basically it. And they had taken all these different characters that they still had left from Project Titan, the basically the corpse from which Overwatch was grown and kind of purged. And one of those characters was Mama Hung, this I presume Chinese lady, I don't know, that is looking really like how do you say that? Angry is not the word, but kind of ill-tempered. She's like, "Bleh," and she has a cigarette hanging from her lip. It's kind of the funniest thing ever.
This kind of rough Chinese auntie that's gonna whoop your ass.
Oh, definitely. Like, I think her ultimate would be the slipper. She would just throw her slipper right at you. And could you imagine?
Gonna give people trauma again. Childhood trauma coming up. Slipper.
That would actually kind of be funny if they ever release a hero that throws slippers at you. Kind of just to stay in the toes. It wouldn't be. I don't think that ever is going to happen in Overwatch. They don't take it too seriously, but serious enough to not have a hero that throws slippers. But still, I think Mama Hung would also kind of have a lot of people go, all right. It's not Maga, but it's Mama Hung. That might even be, I'm not going to say better, but that might be acceptable. But yeah, at this point, I don't know.
I mean, we've been bamboozled twice. Come on. At some point, we get Maga.
My counter of bamboozlements by Blizzard is way beyond the number 2. Like, they have been tricking us for ages now. They love doing that. They love kind of going hee, and then doing something completely different at us. But yeah, we'll see. But I mean, we were talking about BlizzCon. I do hope that we'll get a nice overview well, basically everything that is to come for Overwatch in the next year, so to speak. That is at least what they did back in the day. I think we're all kind of awaiting that. There's still a few gaps or a few issues that still need to be covered with Overwatch. There's a few community demands that need to be delivered on still, and I think those are kind of the things. The new hero, and apparently the second half of season. I mean, the Roadhog rework is going to be very interesting to show off at BlizzCon.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I do think the season ends before the Winter Wonderland event starts. I think it ends just before Winter Wonderland, if I'm not mistaken. I think Winter Wonderland and Lunar New Year are going to be in the same season again. But I mean, those are all things that we probably get a preview of for season 8. And I'm still at this point. I still do not know if I'm going to be able to make it. I still haven't heard back yet for the final confirmation.
The best.
Yeah, I'm at this point. I'm kind of. I mean, the chances are still pretty high from now, but I'm looking at the ticket prices for the airplane. I'm like, oh shit.
They are rising every minute.
Yeah, literally every minute. I have set these notifications, and I keep getting new notifications. Remember when your ticket was like $600? Now it's $800. Good luck.
Yeah, it's the closer you get to your flight, the more expensive they get always.
Yeah, it kind of depends if they kind of have a lot of seats open. They'll and the thing is, I'm a huge man. I need a seat with a little reg room. If I'm going to be on a plane for 9 to 10 hours, I need kind of a leg room. Otherwise, I'm going to be extremely pissed when I walk off that plane.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I had to do it. Like last March, I went to San Francisco for GDC, and KLM had switched planes at the last moment. And what they had done was they didn't have enough of the economy plus seats. So what they did is downgraded some people, and they put me in a normal seat. Man, you can't imagine the 11-hour pain I went through, and me kind of shooting lightning bolts at the flight attendants every time they asked me something. Like, I was so pissed. But anyways, it happens. It's inevitable.
Problems.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, so yeah, that is going to be a BlizzCon. But let's talk about Season 7, which is going to start next Tuesday, October 10th. What we know up till now. There's two big things. Maybe let's get the more technical thing out of the way first. Let's keep the fun Halloween stuff for the end.
Yeah.
We did get a preview of the Sombra rework, which is going to be live with the start of Season 7. So they have been working on this Sombra rework for quite a while. We knew it was coming. We knew it was happening. We knew it was going to be at the start of Season 7. That was all kind of known info. But we got a bit of a preview of what that rework is going to be exactly. And to kind of sum it up, if I want to kind of sum it up in one sentence, is that her flanking days are over and that she's now has a damage over time ability, and that she's going to be very much kind of involved in combat instead of just roaming around and hacking health packs and basically harassing support players. That is going to be different.
Always.
Yeah. But to sum up her abilities, how they change. So the ones that she's getting to keep is, of course, her main ability is her machine gun, or her machine pistol, it's actually called. Her hack ability and her ultimate EMP are still the same. Nothing changed to those. But that by itself has upset a lot of people, because most people were kind of upset about the hack. Not as much about the other stuff that they did change. So what did they change is her stealth. Her stealth is now a passive. They took away her other passive, which was Opportunist. Opportunist, if you don't remember what it did exactly, it made hacked targets visible to her, so she could see them through walls at any time. She could see all low health targets. I think she could see them all. She didn't need to be hacked, but they did need to be hacked, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't play Sombra, so. And the last one was that she does a lot more damage on her hack targets. That's it. So they took that away. Well, I think she can still see her hack targets, but not the low health ones. And she doesn't do extra damage on her. And they replaced that with stealth. Now, how this is going to work is, if you go out of combat as playing Sombra for 3.5 seconds, you'll go invisible automatically. There will be a timer that goes off, and that will kind of make you invisible. Unless you're on the payload, that timer will freeze. If you use an ability, that timer will be cancelled, and it will start again when you go out of combat. That's basically the gist of it. Which is a big change. When I saw that, I was kind of surprised. I know you don't play Sombra yourself that much either, but
I think everyone was kind of surprised, because we were all kind of suspecting something to be done about hack or any, because the thing is, like, her ult is one of the most potent ults in the entire game. I talked a bit about one very frequent Sombra player about it in your community.
Yeah.
And like, her ult was kind of like a game changer. Like, every time it went off, especially in high rank, it would just decide the game ultimately.
Yeah.
If it was done right. And that was what pissed a lot of people off, because you just need to play her, farm her ult, and then you win the game.
Yeah, well, you win the fight. I think you need
fight.
You need to be persistent. Yeah.
And that was a lot of, pissed a lot of people off about Sombra.
It did, especially because that was the thing. Of course, that is the synergy between Opportunist and EMP is that if she has a hack target, she'll do more damage. But if she uses her EMP, she hacks everybody. So if that enemy team is all stacked on the payload and she EMPs in the middle of them, they're all hacked, they all take extra damage, and she just kind of takes them out one by one. It was beautiful to watch. But as you said at the start, it is mainly a thing on the high level, on the high tier. I mean, Yaros, who you were talking about, who plays a lot of Sombra, that plays with us, he's one of our crew members, or one of our mods. He does the same thing in our level on Platinum, and it doesn't have that same amount of impact. He's always counting down to, well, he's going to MP, and our team is usually kind of staring all different directions, going, wait, what? You're doing what? Excuse me? And then by that time, it's gone. But if you're an organized team, if you're high level, That is a critical moment. And yeah, it is kind of strange that they kept all that, or that felt kind of strange. And then my first reaction to the stealth being automatic was like, I don't know, but it kind of makes sense in a way that she would kind of go in and out automatically. I mean, it wasn't as much as I always expected it to be that way from the start, but I don't know. It didn't feel that unusual. But then when I started thinking about it, like the use or the fact that you can control that, especially in certain situations. The first questions I got from people was like, yeah, but how can she still capture points? Or what is going to happen if she's on an objective? Or what in this scenario, in that scenario? And they kind of have all these. It's basically a huge set of rules and timers that kind of govern the whole. You're going in and out of stealth.
I
Uh,
mean, change is always giant, especially change like that. And I watched the dev talk they had.
mhm.
Um, and a lot of people are asking like Alec Dawson like about that as like in particular. They had a lot of questions about it, and for some things they had like precautions for like payload situations and stuff like that. But they ultimately said they just have to keep an eye on how things are gonna go with that new ability
Mhm.
because they can't pre-plan for every possible scenario that's gonna happen or occur. And I kind of get it because it's kind of like that's where it gets complicated because you can't think about every 1000 I don't know like situation that's gonna maybe happen.
Yes, especially with this community. Our community is kind of specialized in breaking abilities and kind of pushing the limits, and especially on high end play.
Finding bugs.
Yeah, I remember like in a professional play in esports, that was the first time back in the day when they still had Apex that we saw this thing where they built the wall with May and Symmetra on top of the building and icon wall so you can get
Oh
over
yeah.
there and all these kind of weird comps and whatnot. People are really good at figuring these types of things out. So yeah, I can imagine that there's a few loopholes that they might not have thought about. But we'll see how this kind of evolves. I do think it's going to be a huge change for the people that play Sombra right now. Um, but I do think the biggest change is going to be the translocator. What
Yeah.
did yeah, that used to be like your get out of prison free card as a Sombra. You
Yeah.
basically put it somewhere safe, and if you got in trouble, you pushed that button and you were I don't know somewhere in La La Land, and close to a health pack, and you were out of trouble. And everybody that was trying to hunt you down was frustrated because they
Mm.
couldn't find you. And now they kind of changed it in the sense that translocator is no longer a device that you put down, but it's something you basically throw. And 0.25 seconds, that's less than a second, you'll teleport to wherever that translocator is.
It's
And
slightly faster than Genji Stash and also slightly farther. And it's super quick. It's like a super quick way to disengage, which is interesting.
it is, but you won't get super far. The one thing is, it does reset your counter or the cooldown of your invisible. So you
Mm.
probably go invisible as soon as you use it. After you use it, kind of the moment you touch ground, you probably go invisible. But still, you're not getting yourself out of safety. Like a Reinhardt that is swinging his hammer, if he swings
Mm.
wide enough, or you land, because there's also this circle that has always been there, but now they put this indicator that shows how far you need to be from other people to make sure they cannot see you as soon as you're a little too close. And that is where I think, like, especially on certain levels, that is going to be the big wall that a lot of Sombra players are going to hit.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. I
it's
mean, Sombra was always kind of like a high risk, high reward kind of character, and that kind of just pushed her slightly into that direction even more because they wanted her to be more of a like engaged character and less of like, oh, I'm just sitting here hacking people, like
yeah,
occasionally killing someone. And it's an interesting way of like trying to figure out how she can get out of these fights because she's still very squishy as a character. And she's a hacker, she doesn't have like that much of armor or anything or like that huge amount of health. And I'm not a player. Just have we have to see how the people will figure it out, I guess, because
mhm.
it's like they. It's kind of like having to learn a new game, like a new character.
For some people, it will. I think for us who don't play her that much, it's not going to make that big a difference, I think. But for those people that have been playing her for a long, long time, that are really specialized, that are basically considering themselves a Sombra main, this is going to be a struggle. It's going to be spicy. I mean, I see a lot of people commenting like, finally, she'll be forced to stop kind of hanging around in the backline. And there, we've seen those Sombras in our games that are just kind of roaming around the whole time, hacking health packs and not actually contributing nothing. They're kind of hacking some of the supports, but they don't usually manage to kill them. I mean, those situations are no longer going to be existent, or at least be less of an issue. We'll see. And then she got a new ability, which I'm always a fan of damage over time abilities. I think I've said this. I don't know when. I think one was when Junker Queen was announced, that I said this, that we need more of these damage over time abilities, that we're kind of missing those, and especially with Kiriko being added to the game and being accounted for all those kind of dots and whatnot. So Sombra is getting one too, Virus, which is a damage over time ability that does 100 over 4 seconds. Unless you're hacked, and it's 100 over 2 seconds. And that is insane. That is quite a lot. That is, if you have a Mercy or any squishy that is below, let's say three quarters. Oh my god, 3/4 of her health. You hack her, you throw that thing on there, she's dead. You can forget it.
I'm just gonna say, if I go against a good Sombra, I'm gonna have a terrible time as Anna.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about that myself too. As I've been playing a lot of support because I'm not enjoying the tank role right now.
I mean, also, like, it's gonna make playing tank a tiny bit worse, I guess.
That's what a lot of tanks are worried about. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen, but yeah, that's what a lot of people are worried about.
I mean, if you don't master her skill, I think that's something that's probably gonna affect lower ranks more. That like Thumbers are just gonna try to annoy tanks and make them even more of like a damage buffer, or trying to get those tanks down.
I think on higher tiers it's going to be problematic. I don't think on our level. I think I don't think we're going to meet those Sombras that are going to be able to harass our tanks and get away with it. I don't think that is going to happen. I mean, I haven't tried it myself. This is just a top of head statement that has no merit, or that I haven't tried it. But I do feel like if she can't teleport all the way to a safe space and just kind of does like a Genji dash or whatever away, it's just a matter of turning around. And I'm always thinking about Reinhardt, but to swing that hammer and just kick her out. Because it was also Yaros that said it. People are so worried about that hack, but it's 1.5 seconds. It's not like she disables you completely. It's really short still. And the problem back in the day was that she could get away with it and then come back and do it again, like come back and do it again. And now she won't. She won't be able to kind of. If she decides to harass you and kind of draw attention to herself, she needs to be very sure of her case, or she's going to die. That's what I'm thinking, but we'll see.
It's gonna be an interesting one, definitely.
Yeah.
See what some players are gonna say about it.
It's going to be very different for every single Sombra player. I know, like some of the Sombra players that are more of the old school method of playing her. That have been playing her for years and kind of stuck with that same kind of setup, that they're going to have a lot of changes to go through. But people like Question, who has been playing this style forever, which is the same style that Yaros plays in our groups, because he watches a lot of Question's content, are going to have, I think, a blast. They're going to have a much easier time. They're going to...
I mean, people who already played her more aggressively are going to have an easier time adjusting. But
you'll see.
But let's say good Sombra players are gonna be even more annoying now.
Yeah, that is kind of worrying actually. There might be. We'll see. It does ruffle some feathers with some people. It definitely got a reaction from a lot of people. But we'll have to wait and see till October 10th how it turns out. We've seen this before. We've seen people kind of stress, and I remember the Brigitte big shield. That was like so many videos about Brigitte's OP. Brigitte's going to be broken, and then they released her, and nothing changed. Literally nothing.
I mean, she's still really good. She's just not picked that much because people don't see her potential. Also, people just don't play her right sometimes.
No, people
It's very
don't realize
frustrating.
how big her radius is and her range
Like,
is, and whatnot.
yeah, her radius is ginormous.
Mm,
But also, like, people don't understand her purpose sometimes, I feel like.
yeah,
Because
she's
she is supposed to knock the tank off of high ground or people off of high ground. She's supposed to protect the other support. And a lot of people just play her like another tank,
exactly
honestly.
that's the problem. They think that they're the squire that they need to tank, but you just need to play your role.
Mm,
But yeah, no, that's just it. Everybody thought that with Brigitte getting a big shield that she was going to be so strong that everybody was going to be playing her, but that didn't change anything. She was still. I think the pick rate is probably still the same. Her impact is still the same. Yeah, she has a bigger shield. That's it. It's impressive to look at. It can stun more people, but
mm.
that's it.
I just feel like it's a measure of trying to get heroes that were like made for Overwatch 1 to fit more in the like faster playstyle of Overwatch 2.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about last week. There's also the problem with the tanks is that they're still too much. They still have too much of their Overwatch 1 DNA. They need to slowly evolve. But look, that kind of segues us nicely to the next hero that is going to get a rework, which is going to be Roadhog in the
Mm,
mid-season patch. And what they've done to Sombra in this case makes me really curious to see what they're going to do with Roadhog.
I'm scared.
We'll see. We'll see. And you watched the Q&A like you said. I was working and you were so nice to kind of take my
Mm.
place and watch the Q&A. But yeah, you also told me that Farah is not going to get a rework, but a slight adjustment to her abilities.
Yeah, like they asked Alec about if they had any other heroes
Hmm.
that they were maybe gonna like make adjustments to or like have a rework incoming, and he he, he wasn't really supposed to, but he still dropped that they were looking at Farah and her like feathering playstyle because it's like kind of she stays in the air for a long time and shoots at you from up top.
Yeah.
That's kind of her point right now, but they're looking at that kind of playstyle to make it a bit more dynamic and faster right now and to change it up a bit. It's not a rework by any means. It's just like a little readjustment of her character and her playstyle.
Okay. And you want her to be because she's up there to give her more options of things to do up there, or are they looking at grounding her more?
He didn't specify.
They didn't specify. Okay.
So that's gonna be something we'll maybe see at BlizzCon. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. If he wasn't allowed to talk about it, I don't think it's going to be anytime soon that we're
I
going.
think he got a slap on the wrist already for like talking about that. But
Yeah, but he shouldn't. I mean, I do understand that they don't want to overpromise and they don't want to. But just to say, like, we know that they're working on Mora. They have been working on Mora for a year and a half now.
mm,
I don't think they're actively working on her anymore. I think it's basically posted at this point on their board, basically going, yeah, at some point we need to
Moira.
Moira, yeah, we need to give her an extra ability because Moira, let's be honest, she is in a really good spot. I mean,
Yeah.
there's like I play Mora occasionally, you play Mora occasionally. I mean, it's the DPS Mora story still stands. You still have Moras that do more DPS than they actually help out with the rest of the team. And I mean,
Mm,
she is a support, but my rule is if your team is dying, you're not doing your job as a support. That's it.
mm.
But overall, no, I think like it is so easy with Mora to get both so much healing and DPS done, and to be so
Yeah, like the balance. I like balance Moras. That's kind of the playstyle I'll go for. That I try to balance my DPS that I do and my health, and that I like try to prioritize keeping my team alive. But when I notice, hey, it's either killing this character or healing, I probably go for the kill and then heal my teammate back up because
mhm.
it's more adds more value.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you play her right, she's super scary. For example, like because she's has so much survivability as a whole. Like if a good Myra, you will almost never see dead. Honestly,
No,
like
no, no,
maybe
exactly.
one or two deaths a game, but if you play her right, like she's crazy scary.
She is. She is. Mora is that one support that I go to when people are getting on my nerves. I'm like, all right, is that this how you're going to play it? Let me whip out Mora. We'll see if you're still laughing at the end of this.
Me too.
Yeah. It-
But-
Talking about heroes that don't die as much, something I've noticed, and that is not talked about enough, in my opinion, is how Lifeweaver is in such a good place right now. If you play Lifeweaver, you can easily do a whole game without dying one single time. He is so mobile. He has such an easy job getting away from anybody. It's kind of insane how good he is right now.
Especially with the healing during his dash that he has.
Mm-hmm.
Like that just makes him so first of all mobile, so he can like dash away from someone who tries to kill him, for example, like a swinging Reinhardt, but also that he gets healed with that, and then he can just throw his pedal, go up, and he's gone.
Yeah, I do this one thing where when I get attacked, the only hero it doesn't work with or that it's more difficult to do against is a Genji. Genji is usually quick enough to kind of follow you, but I do this thing where I put my pedal, I lift myself up, but I immediately dash off my pedal in a direction where I presume I'm going to be safe. And then usually what you do, the fact that you have put up your pedal and lifted yourself, they're all looking up at the pedal and you're kind of sneaking away somewhere else under their nose. And they're like, where did that guy go? What the frick is he? He's just kind of in the corner giggling and healing the rest of your team. He is... the thing is, I enjoy playing him, but not in every match.
He's more situational than other characters.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't feel like I'm having. If I would not watch my numbers at all, I would not feel the impact that he has. But he is very strong. He has a lot of survivability. He has decent healing output. He can really make a difference with his life grip. I just feel it's like these basically in a whole match. There's like a few moments where you feel like, okay, I made a difference here. While other supports, like with Lucio, yeah, if I start booping people away that are harassing my tank or that are harassing, my other team members, if I boop someone off the edge, there's a lot more moments where I basically, on top of the healing that I'm doing, where I feel like I'm kind of getting used out of the character. I don't know. It's like a feeling. I don't think it's necessarily in statistics.
Like that feeling of satisfaction that you have.
Mm-hmm.
For example, when I sleep like a Doomfist as a Moira who's trying to like punch me, or
as an
like
Anna,
a
you mean?
Reinhardt, or I don't know, I sleep someone that's flying over a cliff and they fall down into death. So satisfying.
Yeah.
Especially when your sleeps are like hit more often than that. But like that amount of satisfaction doesn't really work with Lifeweaver, because with your pulls you sometimes don't know, was that a huge one, was it a good one, or did I just interrupt that person's play?
Yeah, you don't. That's the thing. I think you have a really good point. The fact that with an Ana, if you sleep, you're basically disabling someone on the enemy team and you're interrupting them. With your life grip, you're basically interrupting someone on your own team, and you might be saving their life with that interruption, but you don't know what their plan was, what they were doing, what they were thinking, where they were going. You notice pretty quickly. I have not too long ago, I life gripped a Narissa that was super low and that was getting actually flanked on both sides, and she didn't notice at all. So I gripped her on my platform, and she immediately walked off, charged back in, and died like split second later because she probably was like, "Hey, fuck you! I had a plan." No, you didn't. You're going to die. But anyways, good luck. Bye bye. And that is frustrating. Yeah. Those moments are frustrating. Way more frustrating than Anana having her target woken up, which sucks. But I mean, yeah,
it's just like happens. But yeah, if you try to save someone and they just blatantly disrespect you by walking back in, it's just infuriating.
It is. Yeah.
It's such disrespect on the own team.
It is. I mean, sometimes it's just kind of if you're shooting at someone already and they get slapped, and you're like, oh shit, oh, too late. My Helix rockets are gone. Anyways,
Mm,
just kind of veer off a little bit. The balancing. We don't know any of the other balancing changes up till now. We know that there's a few heroes that are going to get balancing changes. And yeah, first off, Zarya is going to be reverted to how she was before the last changes, which were in the mid-season patch, if I'm not mistaken. May is going to lose her deep chill, which was that
yeah.
annoying thing where she slowly the slow kind of slowly ramped up. The slow slowly ramped up. It makes sense. Listen to it again. Just keep it in a loop. Other than that, we know that Orisa. I'm trying to do this on the top of my head. Orisa, Iyari,
Ball.
Wrecking Ball, yeah, Life Weaver too, are all getting balancing changes. There's a short list of heroes that are getting changes that they shared in the blog post. We'll see how it all turns out. Wait, I have a post up right here. Let me go down this. Rissa, Ramatra, Wrecking Ball, Cassidy, Torbjorn, Brigitte, and Iyari are all getting changes. Life Weaver's not in there.
Honestly, by how each of those heroes is kind of performing right now, you can kind of guess who's probably get a buff and a nerf.
Yeah, Rissa's getting buffed.
Of course, Orisa always no, but like I think Wrecking Ball is getting buffed a bit. I know they Brick. I'm scared because Brick is kind of in a good place right now, so I don't see why she should get nerfed. But a buff could be make her pretty strong again.
Yeah.
I mean, Yari's. I just hope just her either her damage or her healing pylon are getting nerfed a bit. Because
yeah, I think to be honest, some people have actually been asking to buff her damage a little bit, and I'm like, wait, what? No.
She can kill like a DPS in 3 shots. What do you mean?
But wait, we also know for a fact. I think. I got the post. They already shared at some point for Orisa that her fortified damage reduction and Torbjorn's primary fire recovery time are also going to be turned back. So those are all stuff that they're going to revert. So we know those. I don't know with the Yari.
It's kind of measures, I think, to just make playing tank a bit more fun again, because tank really suffered in this season.
Oh yeah,
and
tell me about it.
I know that when I queued for everything, that I usually always got tank when I didn't play with friends, because nobody wants to play tank.
Yeah, they all
I didn't
dreaded
want
it.
either.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Tuesday we'll get the full list. We'll get the patch notes. I think maybe they'll tease a little bit in the coming days. I don't know. They have been teasing a lot.
Yeah, I just hope that tanks will have a better time in season 7. Really.
I think more needs to happen to get tanks back on top. I think Maga or whatever the new hero is going to be is going to help. The rework Roadhog is going to help. But I do think overall, like I've said this many times now, but it's just overall the balancing needs to be shifted in a direction where these heroes have more control, that the tank heroes can finally be. I think at some point when they decided to go 5 versus 5, they knew they had to make the tanks brawlers, but they didn't want to piss everybody off, so they just kind of said we're removing one tank, and they kept that label of tank, and they tried to keep as many of these heroes as close to what they were in Overwatch 1. But I don't think that is going to fly. I think we really need to go to a place where there's so many games that have one solo tank that work perfectly, but they just need to be. They're supposed to be tanks, or they need to be brawlers. They need to be in control of the space that you're playing on, and they need to have abilities that help them to kind of basically act like a chess master to kind of disable who needs to be disabled and kind of keep an overview. It's going to be a daunting task, but it needs to happen.
I have a tiny bit of a theory why tanks are having such a hard time right now.
All right.
Because I mean, this is me as a support player talking, but I just feel like that the damage of the supports was kind of, first of all, of course, to help them kill people who were trying to get them.
Yeah,
but
survivor.
also, like, they were there to help the DPS kill 2 tanks, and now it's just 1. So I just think that maybe the supports overall just need a little, like, be less DPS-y.
Be careful what you ask there, Frozen, because we're going to pay the price for that. No, you know remember the like at the start of Overwatch 2, I actually made a whole video about this. The problem was that we didn't have any survivability. And they fixed that survivability by giving us the tools to kind of kick back, literally in some sense, like Zenyatta's kick and whatnot. And they slowly ramped up the damage that a lot of the supports do to kind of have a way to fight back, which had two outcomes. Three outcomes actually. Yeah, supports are in a way better place than they ever been before. Two, a lot of DPS players switch to support, but play a DPS support because they want to play some different heroes. And three, the tanks are suffering tremendously through that too. But that's just it. I fully agree that the damage that we've been getting as supports is a part of the problem. But the thing is that tanks don't have enough, because tanks are not the issue for the supports. It's the DPS that are the issue for the supports. And the tanks are the ones that were left behind. And I think tanks need tools to, like I said, these crowd control tools. And I know a lot of people are kind of worried about stuns and whatnot, but I think there's more tools than just stuns and freezes and whatnot, disabling your characters, but more kind of creating space. And there's different ways. Why is Mei one of the best off tanks in this whole game?
Yeah. She
can create space. She puts up a wall in a certain position and kind of controls that space. And like Sigma can do the similar thing with his shield, Ramatra to a certain extent too. Sigma is a very strong tank. Ramatra is doing better than he ever did before because they can create that space. Reinhardt is holding that shield. He needs to be positioning himself to kind of get that done. And he needs to be more aggressive to get to create that space. And at that point, you run into the issue where the supports start kicking back and the DPS start kicking back. So Reinhardt just kind of is obliterated because he has basically 5 people taking a shot at him at that point, while Sigma and Ramatra can still kind of hang back a little bit. So that's what I'm thinking. They need more of these tools to create space, to kind of open things up and to kind of make sure that everybody has cover, that they have room to kind of hide or to kind of lay low. And some of them are going to be stuns and some of them are going to be walls, but that's my theory at least.
When you say it like that, it's kind of weird that we still don't have a tank hero that can make a wall like that, like Mei.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it would be a prime tank ability to block people off and stuff, but where?
Maybe Mauga might be doing that.
Maybe.
I don't know. Mauga's kit is a big question mark for me. If it's going to be Mauga again, I don't want people to be quoting this in years to come, but no, I think Mauga's kit, because he was a heavy in Talon, and the easy thing there is to think that he's going to be a charging tank with a double Gatling gun and whatnot, but I really hope not. But then the question is, what is going to fit his character? And what is going to... If you think about it, Sigma was going to be Mauga. Sigma has a shield. So they must have been thinking something in that direction. They must have been thinking about this. Have you seen that Disney movie? What is it called again? That where the main character basically is Mauga. That is also set on Samoa, Oceania, I think it is called. In some regions, and the other it's called is something.
Moana.
Yeah. Moana, yeah.
And with Maui.
Yeah, I don't remember the name exactly. I know it had 2 different names in different regions because of copyright issues.
Moana and Vaiana, because here, like in Europe, we had copyright issues, so it's Vaiana in Germany, but in America, it's Moana.
Yeah, and I know it's in other regions. It's even called Oceania, so it has 3 names in apparently. But yeah, he was also in control. There was also a lot of happening with the basic elements and whatnot. So I think that is a big part of what Samoa is about. Like the roughness of nature and the beauty of nature combined. We'll see. But yeah, that is a good point. Why don't we have a tank that does that? That's why some people are asking to have Mei as a tank, but I don't know.
Please don't. Please. I love Mei. I love playing her. I think she's fun. But
she's a demon!
Please.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in the future, in the coming months. It's not... I mean, BlizzCon is less than a month away, so...
Yeah.
In less than a month, no. All right, we've talked enough about the.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's time to move on to other season 7 content. And I think the main thing here is that they both kind of revealed the theme, the name. We already discussed the name. We already knew that last week. But that we kind of have a theme going. We know what the crossover event is, and we got to look at a lot of the skins. So the name of the season is what we already knew last weekend, was The Rise of Darkness. And it is indeed a crossover with Diablo 4, another Blizzard game. Did we see, when we recorded the last episode, had we already seen Mora skin at that point? I don't remember.
No, we didn't. I don't think so.
Let me see. I can see on Instagram, actually.
Maybe. I think I saw the leaks, but I don't know if it was official yet. I know we saw Hanzo's skin before.
Yeah, let me see. I can see the thumbnail for. No, I think it actually was literally after we did the podcast that we did see Samoa before the podcast. We did see Rise of Darkness, and then after the podcast, they showed off the Lilith Mora skin. We also got to look at the new Hanzo Legendary, the Mythic skin.
I've been loving the amount of love that Moira has been getting with skins. Like the amount of dark skins she has gotten, from the Overwatch League skin to now the Lilith skin. Yes, I love it so much.
Your dark heart is celebrating. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've seen people complain about this, and I don't understand why. Like, Mora is such a dark character. Just her whole vibe is so dark. Giving her a preppy, happy skin is really not going to be it's not going to work well. I don't think that is going to be a good fit. Although
it just fit her. Like, it would be fun for a goofy one, like April Fools, but otherwise,
yeah,
I don't know.
Have you seen the Ramatra skin that they added for season 7? That is a skin where I feel like, wait, what?
That looks kind of goofy. Can I say that? It looks kind of goofy.
It looks weird.
It's so weird.
I posted it on social media. Like, he looks like Bob's older brother.
How'd they change his hair? Because he had this cables before, kind of looked like dreadlocks, which was pretty cool. And now he looks, I don't know, either Bob's or Maximilian's older brother who has his life together.
And they really gave him Ramatra is an Omnic, and he has Omnic features, but he looks very different because he's a war machine, basically. He was built for war. And all the other Omnics don't have that, or the other, like Zenyatta, Ramatra, Mondata. Like, a lot of the Omnics we see in game have this typical look with the eyes on the top of their head, kind of like... And he adopted that more classic Omnic look. A lot of people thought it was Bob, actually. A lot of people thought this was Bob to the Ash skin, which the Ash skin is... I'm going to be honest, I think if the whole set, it's going to be my favorite. Just how creepy and how weird looking it is.
I saw a lot of people hoping that Bob would look similar to the little puppet that she has on her belt.
Yeah.
That maybe we get a voodoo doll Bob or something.
The chances are quite high that it is going to be something in that theme. I mean, the fact that she has that on her belt. Now, how you make Bob look into that is going to be a bit of a challenge. I think that won't have been an easy task for whoever had to design that skin. But Ash herself looks amazing.
I did it with Echo.
What do you mean? You did it with Echo?
Echo has a voodoo doll skin, doesn't she?
Yeah, but Echo is proportionally very different from Bob. Bob is this. His shape is like a triangle. He's like a bodybuilder that skips leg day.
They figured something out. I'm sure.
But the Ash skin itself, it's like a porcelain doll with these stitches on her mouth. It's just
so terrifying. I love it.
And the look on her face. A lot of people, everybody thought Ramatra was Bob. This skin, I've heard everything. Going from, I thought it was Diva, I thought it was Sombra, I thought it was Mercy. People had every female character on their list except for Ash. But there is a big giveaway. She's on Route 66. She's holding up the picture that she's burning from the picture of her and Cassidy that she's burning, and you can hear her voice in the trailer.
But also, I think you can see it in the smirk in the eyes that is Ash.
Yeah, you can see it.
Of her.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people complaining or bashing on the Genji skin actually. That they thought it kind of looked like the Ice Wrath skin he has, but just in red.
It is like the elemental opposite of the Ice Red skin. I mean, I can understand why people see the similarities, but it is an awesome looking skin, no matter how you turn it.
It's beautiful.
There is a point where I follow along in any comment and objection that people have on certain skins and not putting in enough effort. Like if you have a skin, an epic skin that is just has a little hat. I'm like, oh yeah, they didn't really go too far, or they didn't put in a lot of effort in that skin. But I don't care. I don't buy it at that point. But when a skin looks that amazing, that beautiful,
yeah,
I'm like, whatever, man. Seriously, I don't give a flying. Let me use my censor button, even if it's a podcast. Because that looks amazing. That is a beautiful, beautiful skin, and you need to let go. You need to let go. Like another objection. This is kind of random. Sorry, Frozen. I saw you were saying. I was going to lose my train of thoughts. It is slightly related, but it's not. I've seen so many people complain about, for instance, the Sombra skin that was in the bundle that they sold this week. The Jester Sombra.
Oh yeah.
They were saying like, oh, I got this skin for free in the bundle that we got for Overwatch 1 players. I think that was the one, the Founders Pack or something like that. And they were upset about that. I'm like, why are you upset about other people getting the possibility to get something that you own? Like, what? How does that really... Oh, I think my camera just kind of went, I'm done for today. That's because I didn't turn on my fan. That was stupid. I'll fix it. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get picture back. Don't worry about it. I'll be right back, people. I lost my train of thought. Like, I don't mind that other people can buy something that I got for free or that I got at a different price back then. Like, if I buy a car secondhand, or I buy a car from, like, let's say 10 years ago, I'm going to pay a cheaper price. Or, I mean, there's just the moment and at which you buy it and the exclusivity within a certain window is what you... I don't know, but maybe I'm just ranting.
Geez, let other people have fun. Like, come on.
Yeah.
In the clown bundle, it kind of scared me. I was like, I was just clicking on the shop, and there was like clowns.
Yeah, you don't like clowns either, right?
Clowns are fine. It's more like puppets, but like puppety-looking puppets with like the weird looking eyes and shit.
That's kind of funny. Hannah has the same thing. Hannah does not like the Pinocchio Zenyatta skin and the Christmas one because of the mouth, the puppet mouth.
I don't know if it meets the eyes when they have like button eyes and stuff like that. Then it's like, nah, thank you. I'm good. Like porcelain is fine, but
yeah,
I don't have to. You know.
my Hilda has a huge issue with clowns in general.
I have heard stories from you.
Yeah. She really doesn't like clowns.
You're hiding.
Yeah, we still do that. We still have this little. I have this little Pennywise Funko Pop that I hide at the weirdest places, and she gets pissed off. Like yesterday, we were walking in a general store, like doing grocery shopping, and they have a lot of Halloween themed shit out there. And she spotted this clown doll that they had standing there, just in the middle of the hallway. Someone had taken one of those clown dolls out of the racks and put it just in the middle of the hallway. She freaked out. She was like, what the fuck is that? Who would do that? She's like really, really pissed. When she saw the soldier skin, I showed her the soldier skin.
Oh, I love it. Oh.
She hates me so much when I do that. She really hates it. That skin is, oh my God, it's so creepy.
It has different colors and like the balloon's different, of course. But like you can see the reference they had. Like,
yeah, of course. Yeah. Pennywise, yeah.
Beautiful. Like he's the perfect amount of terrifying.
He is super creepy, and you get that one for free, by the way. So let me run them down. So what we got to see 4 skins that are tied into the Diablo crossover event. I need to kind of quickly add, for the Diablo crossover event, we're going to get a new brawl, which is called blah 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 of Sanctuary. I don't know what the actual name is anymore. The blah 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 of Sanctuary. Do you? I don't know. But basically,
Sanctuary.
the
Trials of Sanctuary.
The Trials of Sanctuary, exactly. So
Yep.
it's going to basically, I think it's going to be a bit of a mix between the Junkenstein's Revenge and the Bride of Junkenstein. I don't think it's going to be elaborate story wise as the especially I think room wise. I don't think they have enough space to do this whole thing where you run from one end of the castle to the other end of the castle like they did in the Bride of Junkenstein. But I do think we're going to be moving forward a little bit. So we're not going to be as stationary as in Junkenstein's Revenge. You basically will have bosses that you encounter, and those bosses will drop pickups that will make your hero stronger, and you basically will fight more and more bosses. Now, there's 4 skins that are tied into this event. There's, of course, Lilith, which is Mora's skin. There's Asmodan, Wrecking Ball, which is super cute. Asmodan is this big demon, and he basically is... The ball is Asmodan's body, and Hamid is his little head. It's cute and creepy and evil as fuck. Oh no, I'm going to get demonetized on YouTube. Anyways, and then there's I can't wait. One, you basically have a Farah skin that both of them are angels, Imperius and Inarius. Inarius, I think Inarius is Farah and Imperius is Reinhardt. The Imperius Reinhardt skin looks amazing. It is so good.
I quickly get it, but I have a poster from the Diablo booth from Gamescom here, and it's like incredible to see how accurate Farah's skin is to the game.
Yeah, it is.
Like it's right over there. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah,
it looks so good.
I've been playing Diablo my whole life, and I should have remembered the names. But anyways, no, that for me that Reinhardt skin might be my go-to skin from now on. I don't know. It is insane. The Farah one looks beautiful. So those are the 4 Diablo skins. On top of that, we got the Ashe skin that we were talking about, which is Porcelain Doll. Then we have the Soldier 76, which is basically the Pennywise from it. The Genji skin that we were talking about earlier, that is kind of a lava demon theme to it, like very earth and fire. Then there's the Bride. It's basically like the Bride from, if you've ever been to Disneyland Paris, they have the Haunted Mansion has a completely different storyline than it has in all the other parks, and it has the storyline about a bride that is mourning her husband or something like that. I don't follow exactly, but it looks like a bride that has been crying and kind of that is actually dead. It has this ghost to it, feel to it. And a lot of Widowmaker players are looking forward to getting that. Echo is getting some kind of puppet skin too that looks creepy and cute at the same time. The Ramatra Baron something skin. Then Lucio is getting another reference, in my opinion, to the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland is like the Hatbox Ghost. Like, I mean, I'm just looking at the skin. That skin feels like a tribute to the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland. You have the Hatbox Ghost. You have that typical look for the ghosts in that attraction. And his shirt has that typical pattern for the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland. This is a tribute. I'm 90% certain that this is a tribute to the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. And that one is also going to be free. So the Soldier one and the Lucia one are free on the Battle Pass. Then there's the Zombie Nurse Mercy, which, like you said, has a really Silent Hill feel to it. Yeah. It was nice. You noticed that. That is actually quite true. Life Weaver is getting a skin. I don't know what the name is going to be. I do have to say, Life Weaver, his skins always look like some type of recolor.
It's true. Like, I don't know, like the Life Weaver skin, that what we see here is not much to talk about.
No.
Looks like he has makeup on. He's
exactly. And that, and that he's been in a rain shower or something. And and I don't think up till now he doesn't have any skin that really changes his shape, his silhouette, as much as, for instance, like the Ashe skin is so different. But people start to kind of thinking, is that? I mean, if you see him in game, you notice immediately which hero it is. But no, and Life Weaver really needs a different skin.
He has his skins where he's wearing a wig, where he looks like that one Barbie villain.
But that's like the furthest they go.
Yeah, true. It's weird, but maybe I hope we'll see something more for him.
I hope so too. I hope so too.
Yeah.
And then
And
there's the Bastion Pumpkin skin. Sorry, what were you
they
going to say?
they even made fun of that, like when they announced it in the blog post. They were like, "Yeah, that's a thing."
Yeah, yeah,
Pumpkin spice bastion.
exactly. The pumpkin spice bastion. There's the Moira skin, and there's another one. I think. I'm not 100% sure. There
Let me
is.
quickly check.
There's a bundle, the ultimate bundle that is going to come out.
Yeah, it's Lilith, Moira,
And Farah.
Inarius Farah,
Yeah,
and
the
Pumpkin
bet.
Spice Bastion.
Yeah, those are
So
going to be the ultimate bundle.
mm,
The skins that are going to be in the battle pass are the Widowmaker skin, the Iari skin that we didn't mention yet. Iari's getting a Moon Witch type of skin, which looks kind of cool. That is going to be in the battle pass. Like I said, the Lucio and the Soldier are for free. The Asmodan, Wrecking Ball, the Echo skin, and the Ramata skin are all going to be in the battle pass. And then there's two more skins, the Rubber Ducky skins, which is so random. The Zenyatta is having this basically as if he just came out of the bathtub or is about to go into the bathtub or the shower, and has this rubber ducky on top of his head and on his towel that he is wearing. But then basically Orisa is getting the equivalent of Surf and Splash Torbjorn for Orisa.
it's beautiful.
There's no more choice. I have to wear this skin. I wear Surf and Splash. I need to wear this skin. There's no getting around to it. I mean,
it fits with like the new map. I feel like that we're gonna get.
might be that.
So, like,
Might be.
jump around on the beach, maybe. I don't know. I really hope I can't really see it in the pic. I just hope like we get killed with rubber duckies, and I want to make them like please make them squeak while they kill me, please.
And I want Arissa's javelin to be a squishy toy, like a floaty toy. That you like, basically like the hammer. Torbjorn's hammer is also a blow up hammer. So, but there's, I don't know. They might have something to do with Samoa, but I have no idea why. But they look amazing. So those are all the skins that we got to see. All of them look amazing. Oh, there's one more thing I want to mention. That is the Ramata skin that they show at the start with the trailer. I think that might be a recolor of the Necromancer skin. Because the Necromancer skin has all green, and that one has a lot of orange in it. Some people think it's just a light of because of the lighting of that shot. I don't know. It might be. I just feel like if it had been green, they would have definitely highlighted that green. So he might get a small recolor of Necromancer at some point for some reason. I don't know. There's also going to be a recolor of the Sombra Demon Hunter skin. That you can earn by I don't remember how actually.
Getting a lot of earnable and free stuff this season. And I'm not mad about it.
Oh no, you can't earn it. Sorry, I'm wrong. You can buy it in the credit store that they're going to bring back. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, with the 3,000 credits we're gonna get, where you can also in 1 week buy heroes.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be in that store that 1 week. Oh yeah, the heroes. No, yeah, that's still something different. Yeah. You can buy the Overwatch 2 heroes, all of them except Iari, with credits in the second week of the season. So remember that.
Missed out on playing a season or didn't get a hero, you can actually get the hero now with the credits.
Exactly. I mean, they're definitely kind of ramping up the ways that you can spend the credits, but also kind of the way that you can earn the credits. I like it. I think that's basically what the community has been asking for. They're slowly taking away all the arguments of people that are going like, yeah, but I don't want to pay for skins. Like, all right, you don't have to. You can do this and this and this. But I want that skin. Yeah, well, you have to wait 6 months. I've said it in the last episode. I'm going to say it again. I think at some point we're going to get in a situation where you basically can get all skins with credits, but you'll just have to wait for it. If you want to get the Reinhardt skin, let's say that it is going to be in the shop, and you want it now, you have to pay with money. But if you can wait like 3 months, it might be in the credit store. And you can buy it with credits. It might be. We'll see. I
would really like that. I mean, it's just like, I don't know, it feels like a spit in people's faces who like were complaining like, hey, this game is so trash, I have to buy everything. No, it's earnable now. Fuck you. I can swear here. Fuck you.
Hey, you're going to get me demonetized. Yeah, this video is going to be demonetized anyways. Yeah, true, very true. And I think I actually have a video coming up later today. I think things are changing for the Overwatch community. I feel there's more positivity. There's more of a positive vibe. People are happier. People are more enjoying the game more. And I think what we're having here is that a lot of people are still focused at what happened when Overwatch released and the game that we got, that situation that happened there. And they were so focused on everything that they didn't want in there or that they didn't see in there that they really wanted, like the big PvE as they promised it back in 2019, that they don't look up anymore to look at everything else that we got. The game has slowly evolved over the last 12 months into something that new people that come in are going like, yeah, that seems fair. And that is a huge shift. And it's going to keep shifting. It's not going to keep shifting forever, but it is going to keep shifting still. I think they still have some plans in that direction.
I mean, the old people who are still hung up on those things are gonna be hung up on them forever.
Yeah,
But
those have left the game, but no.
yeah, like, screw you, go away. We don't want you here. Like, this is a positive place. Aggressive positivity. Oh, but no, but it's refreshing to see like the people like actually being excited again, and like acknowledging, hey, this is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen a lot of that. And I can see it in my numbers. I can see it in the reaction. I can see it in the questions I get. I don't know. It's like a very recent thing, but somewhere throughout season 6, things have been shifting. And one of the things that you said during the stream, and that is very true, is that a lot of new people joined over Steam, and they don't have all that the history. They don't have all that, all those expectations. They just look at the game as it is right now, and what they see, they kind of like it. So we'll see how this keeps evolving. I mean, I am 100% convinced that there's still going to be big things that are going to upset us in the coming months, years to come, for sure. That is inevitable.
Definitely.
But we need to roll with the punches, and we need to, I think above all, just enjoy the game. And if we're not enjoying it, we need to switch to something else. All right, we need to slowly start winding down because you need to prepare for D&D.
Yeah.
But one more thing that I want to mention, and if I wouldn't, I would not be. This would not have been a complete report of everything that we know up to now. Well, there's actually 2 things, but one is going to be too late if you hear this tomorrow or on Monday. But there's a double XP weekend going on, so if you want to have that final stretch of XP, this is the time. And sorry, I had to cough. I had to mute myself. That was kind of, I felt it coming up, and I was like, I need to mute myself, otherwise I'm going to sound like a wheezing, I don't know. Okay, and the last thing is that they did some changes to Route 66. So it is a minor detail that is slipping through the mazes everywhere. Not a lot of people are talking about it, but they have changed some stuff. Basically, the people are in, the attackers in the first spawn will have a lot more kind of barriers to kind of defend themselves. They have an easier time pushing towards that first corner. Second, the layer of the Deadlock Gang, which is basically that final stretch where that truck is parked, was cleaned up a little bit. So the defending team has a lot more angles to kind of approach the attackers. Those were 2 kind of points that they took on. And apparently, for some reason, that first door is going to remain open, at least partially, after the point was captured. I think it is to kind of allow people to flow through, because there are a few ways that you can get to the next point, but a lot of people seem to be really dead set to either go through the mine or to that one passway. Nobody goes through the left passway anymore, and I think they kind of want to open it up to pull more people to the left and to kind of allow them to kind of straight on take the payload again and then move further after they come from spawn. We'll see. On top of that, they added an overcast version. I don't get why you need an overcast version of any map. Why do you need clouds? I mean, I think Frozen will agree with me. We see enough clouds as it is already. Yeah. We don't need more. Well, currently it's kind of okay here in Belgium, but I don't know. We'll see. But from the screenshots that I've seen, it kind of looks kind of cool. We'll get a good look at it.
Optimistic about the map changes. Like, I liked what they did with Numbani a lot.
Yeah.
Just made the map feel a lot more, like, a lot cleaner and a lot better. So I'm like carefully optimistic with this one.
And the same with Gibraltar. I think they did a really good job with the Gibraltar.
Yeah.
That is a they thought it's a lot of obstacles and the little new segues. I like when they do that. To be honest, I would not mind if they occasionally just change maps up just for the sake of changing them, because it brings something fresh to the game.
Gibraltar, the last point that you spawn at when you're defending, just is so much better now.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah.
Like, just feels nicer to play even as a defender, because you can't like you can't get squished like right at the spawn door anymore.
Exactly, and that is another, like, back in the day we had 2 exits, but people always kept using that one exit. We're so I don't know what it is, but it's human, I guess. But once we have this, we're almost like ants. Once someone sets the trail that people follow, everybody just chases them around. Everybody follows that same trail. It's kind of funny. But anyways,
the leader has been established.
yeah, exactly. All right, but that was it. I mean, that was a lot to talk to, and it took us quite a while too. This is going to be a long episode, and you have in 45 minutes, you're going to be guiding people through their D&D campaign on the Discord server. So if you ever want to watch that, guys, Frozen is our dungeon master. So there's no more spaces. I mean, the group is set for now. There's a list of people that want to join. If you want to kind of be on that list, join our Discord. If you just want to watch, it's open for people to follow along and to watch everybody's adventures. And trust me, there are some people in there that make it extremely adventurous, like some Austrian people. Yeah, we love Scorpio, man. He always brings something to every table he gets at,
even if it's near-death experiences.
Yeah. But it's a fun group, and it's definitely worth having checking it in. On top of that, before I go, I need to kind of promote our Patreon again. We have a Patreon for the Omnic Post in general. There is a special tier for people that listen to the podcast, and those people get early access to this episode every single week. And I'm working on setting up a live stream. So basically, people that sign up for that Patreon on the podcast tier will get to watch the podcast being recorded. I just need to kind of set it up. I'll try and do that as soon as possible. We just started with the Patreon, and there is a lot to but once it's set up forever, you know. So go check it out, patreon.com/theomnicpost, if you want to kind of support. Well, it's basically me and my crazy adventures and everything that I'm doing. But there's also tiers for people that just watch the videos. There's all kind of, if you just want to kind of donate $2 every month because you feel like, yeah, you guys are fun, and here you go, $2. You throw us a coin. And other than that, I think I said everything I needed to say. Frozen, where can all these nice people find you?
At Frozen Unicorn on Twitter and Instagram. I've been trying to do the Inktober challenge, so if you want to follow that along.
Oh yeah. I've seen those illustrations. It really, like, every day. It's right. You do a drawing every day.
I try to. Sometimes I don't like the prompts, but my goal is to do as much as I can.
Yeah, go check it out. She does a lot of cool illustrations. And it's Frozen with the first O is a 0.
It's a bit difficult.
It's a bit difficult, but I always put the name below the screen so you can see it right there, and I'll tag Frozen in the posts. You can follow me as DamesTV on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You can follow the Omnic Post for all your updates on Overwatch on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. And you can also follow the Omnic Weekly, this podcast, over on Instagram and on Twitter. But the best way to do it is to just subscribe on whatever platform that you're listening or watching. Like I said, we do a video podcast every week. This is on YouTube every single week, and people seem to enjoy it. So go check it out if you have not seen it yet. That is on the Omnic Post YouTube channel. So youtube.com/@theomnicpost. That's it. All right. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you all next week. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.